What's going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to discuss the best tunes right now in Marvel Strike Force as of April 2024. But more specifically, guys, we've been seeing all this huge infusion of newer players and those transitioning endgame. So I do want to start this new series here where we're constantly, keeping up to date on, what are the best characters as of this time. And there's a couple of key considerations, but obviously the big one is I do not want to discuss any of the obvious choices, such as, obviously Mephisto, SKRULL, Apocalypse, and as well as legendary characters. They're all really good in the game already. More so, I think the intention of this video is to point out, characters or tunes that you may not be aware of where they're currently at and how relevant they are, right? We want to be focusing in on the current meta and as well as any upcoming events or teams to be mindful of. But for the emphasis of these characters, I do also want to stress that this is in no particular order when I go down the list, but I do want to emphasize that it does focus on value and usage, right? I'm thinking about the versatility of these characters and maximizing as much game modes as possible, so that way it can not just help your guys' progression earlier on, but as well know that at the end of the day, these are great investments to be had, especially if you're earlier in the game and you see or unlock these characters sooner rather than later. It's great to invest in them because they are going to be giving you immense value. So guys, enough of the ramble there. Let's get started now with the list here. I'll quickly talk about why they're the best, some of the best tunes in the game, as well as if and when they're farmable. So let's starting things off. Black Knight, goes without saying, he's indisputably one of the best characters now in the game because he is a direct counter to Super SKRULL himself, and he's part of that strong arena meta, but as well value in all game modes, which is big. He's number 3 in armor and number 3 HP in Marvel Strike Force, so just such a versatile tanky character, and we've seen in the game that these tanks last longer in the span of time. Unfortunately, not farmable right now, but he is, after the recent update, he is fountainable, with some RNG luck. You can actually get some shards of him in the premium orb, so definitely take your shot of him because getting his unlock is going to be huge for adding and bolstering your roster. Next up, we're going to be talking about some of the important raid characters because of the fact that, we're doing raids day in, day out, every single day, and building some of these cores and engines to the raid team is going to help bolster your roster and create that strong foundation. So Val is the first character here. Amazing raid and Dark Dimension value. You're going to see that she's basically a lock here for the Cosmic sections whenever Dark Dimension is involved. She's the first character that actually brought in the exposed mechanic, a mass ability block, as well as a 2 ally revive mechanic that kicks in with her ability. So I mean, if you're playing it right, you can generate enough energy so that way she can sustain herself even despite her massive energy cost. But yeah, she is the engine of Bifrost. So I mean, if you guys have caught wind of my earlier videos as well, Incursion 2.3, I mean, the only reason it's possible is because I built up Val all the way to the max because I brought her into Dark Dimension 6. So definitely take advantage, guys. This is one of the best characters in the game, and thankfully available in the Incursion campaign, chapter 6-9. Moving on now to the tech note here. Kestrel is kind of the equivalent here of what Val is to the Bifrost team, right? Amazing value in all game modes, and it definitely helps that she's also a mythic tune. So, with her synergy being a dual tag for skill and tech, it's going to help resources, but as well being a lock in Dark Dimension 7. And similar to Val being the engine of Bifrost, Kestrel is the engine of Pegasus. And the Pegasus team is more well-rounded, more robust than the Bifrost team. You're going to be getting more value out of them. So it's great to have this engine of the team already built up. And as well, with her being an unlock here for Dark Dimension 1, but as well, you can also get shards for her in Milestone 3. So it's nice to have that versatility and option to get her access. We have Nightcrawler being hands down indisputably the best plug-and-play mutant in the game, and given the recent updates here with the Age of X meta, we know mutants are going to be important, so characters like Nightcrawler is going to be very vital for how the theory crafting aspect is going to be, especially once Xavier joins the game. Having said that, Extreme X-Men, they're a very good team all around, but as well, they're obviously required for the mutant section, but this is a very strong team in the game that you do not want to pass up on. And obviously at the end of the day, this character is not farmable yet, but you can actually get shards of him through Ultimus and the Ultimus store, with some RNG, of course. But yeah, got us done. He's also got an exposed mechanic and being able to flip all buffs to debuffs. It's just a great all-around character, especially from any mutant team. His fellow companion here in Gambit, in my honest opinion, is going to be the second best plug-and-play mutant in the game. And again, with the Age of X meta, we're getting additional value out of this Extreme X-Men. It's great to see that they're both partners in crime, and you can actually slot them into different teams later on. But, Gambit obviously being part of two different teams, Unlimited and Extreme, he's got some more versatility as well. So, thankfully, he's very easy to achieve via the Crucible Store purchase. So, great to have their option there. But, yeah, this is just these two mutant guys. They're going to be playing a very, very big part in the Age of X meta as that comes to date here, especially given the theory crafting opportunities. Now we move over here to the bio section of raids, being Void Knight. And with him, kind of similar to what we've seen in the past teams now, he's the engine of the Hive Mind team. Amazing arena and raid value, even Dark Dimension, but really what's notable is the fact that he has a turn 1 ability block, especially in raids. It's a mass ability block across the enemy team. And shards aren't farmable yet, just the ultimates, but you definitely want to get your hands on him because he's great in raids, he's great in Dark Dimension, and he's also a staple right now in arena, depending on the bracket that you're in. Moreover, now we have one of the newer tunes that have been recently added into the game, being the Leader, and I've been loving what he's doing in Crucible and War. Haven't used him as much because I'm still building him up, but already caught wind of the fact that he's a Dark Dimension value kind of character that you can bring up, especially when synergized with the rest of the Cabal. But what I really like about Leader is his infusion in the game has kind of breathed new life for villains, especially in Crucible. So I really like and appreciate how other characters can bring up and revitalize irrelevant tunes, right? So he can add very significant buffs to villains, right? So he's ranked number 4 in HP in the game as well, so that definitely helps. But as of right now, he's not farmable yet, so we'll keep an eye on this. But yeah, he's indisputably probably the most important member, in my honest opinion, for the Cabal team. But obviously the three of them need to be together to truly shine, especially for Crucible, but they also have value in War as well and PvP content. Next up, we have Robbie Raz, a Ghost Rider variant in the game. Amazing value in all game modes. He's part of the Secret Defenders team. That's still a top 5 team in the game, given its status a year later. But as well, you just see him so pervasive in the arena, but he's known as the Dark Dimension City King because he's an absolute must-have for Dark Dimension. So make sure you guys do not miss him, because he even has Mephisto callouts in Mephisto's kit. So he's definitely going to have some sort of value once we can synergize him a little bit more in the future here. But thankfully, he's a Crucible Store purchase, a very versatile and powerful character. And again, he thrives on any kind of characters that you have that use bleed mechanics. So just a really good kit all around, and you definitely do not want to be missing him in your roster. We got Vulture being hands down probably one of the most important, if not for Sinister 6 and Superior 6 kind of synergy teams. But what I really love about Vulture is his kit synergy, right? I mean, he mixes so well each and every of the different Sinister 6, Superior 6 hybrid teams. He's insanely cheap, high impact, speed meter manipulation, in addition to just being a cheap character. So I mean, value in all game modes, especially the PvP content, especially Dark Dimension, and as well him being easily purchasable in the raid store. He's a must-have character right now in the game. And then as well, guys, last but not least, we have Kang the Conqueror joining this list here, being the final member. But yeah, I mean, indisputably one of the best damage dealers in the game still. He has value in all game modes. Their Crucible team, Masters of Evil, is one of the best still in Crucible setting. His team is actually required for the Legendary Unlock for a trial. So I mean, it just has value all across. He's hands down, in my honest opinion, the best tech tune in the game. His insane piercing and barrier clearing is really what's going to be notable in the future. Even when you have, these new teams and characters coming out with defenses, the fact that he can shred that away is pretty astronomical. And great to see that he's actually farmable in the game, with him bringing that offensive potency in Incursion Campaign 3-8. So there you guys have it. In my honest opinion right now, these are some of the best tunes in the game that you should get your hands on. And thankfully most of them are free to play, outside of the ones that aren't yet farmable. We'll keep you guys up to date with all the newest tunes, but this is as of April 2024, and any kind of updates I will definitely keep you guys posted. So thank you for your time. Let me know anything in the comments below if you agree or disagree, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.